Welcome back, first graders. Today we're going to talk about how characters can help us understand the story that we are reading. Characters are the people, animals, or creatures in a story. Some of our favorite characters are Pigeon from the Mo Willems books, Dogman from the Dogman series, Lily from Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, or other Kevin Henkes characters. Some of you might even like David from the No David books. These are just some of the fun characters that we read about in kindergarten and first grade. Understanding characters can be tricky, but to help, think about the words the characters are saying, what they are thinking, the things they are feeling, and their actions or what they are doing. By thinking about all of these things, you can learn more about your character and what kind of person or personality they have. We're going to listen to The Paper Bag Princess today and learn more about today's assignment. Today we're going to read this book, The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all of her clothes with its fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am very busy, dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" So the dragon jumped up and flew around the world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. But there was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. The end. So, Elizabeth is the main character in this story. The dragon is a pretty important character too. For your assignment today, you are going to think about this worksheet here. It says, draw the main character during an important part of the story. And then, what does this part tell you about the main character? I decided to draw the part of the story where Elizabeth gets the dragon to be so tired that he falls asleep and then she can go in to the tower safely. I'm going to think about what Elizabeth was doing and saying and thinking during this part of the story because it will help tell me things about her. Well, I remember that Elizabeth had the dragon breathe out all his fiery breath until all the fire was gone. She had the dragon fly around the world 2 times until he was so tired that he just fell right to sleep. Now, this tells me that Elizabeth is a pretty clever person. Clever means very smart. I noticed that Elizabeth was able to trick the dragon into falling asleep so she could safely get Prince Ronald from the tower. She was clever and she was able to solve her own problems. So, what does this part tell me about the main character? Well, it tells me that Elizabeth is very clever. I'm going to write that here. Elizabeth is very clever. She didn't need anybody to solve the problem for her. She was able to figure the problem out by herself. She can solve her problems all by herself. That's what you'll be doing for your assignment today. Read a fiction book, draw your character in the book in an important part of the story, and think about what that part of the book tells you about your character. All right, first graders. Now that you've listened to the Paperback Princess and learned a bit more about what you're going to do today, here's one more reminder about your assignment. Read a fiction book. You can choose a book from home or a book on Raz Kids or Epic. Complete the Understanding Characters worksheet, and you can also write this on your own paper. Have fun, first graders, and see you next time.